Good afternoon, folks. Jason Shepard here with the Anchor Room. Today we're going to show you the installation of our roof flag. The installation concept is pretty much the same on all year models. We are, however, showing it to you today on a 13-14 model Mustang. The tools in front of you are very direct and straightforward. We have application fluid, which is nothing more than soapy water. This gives us the ability to put the decal on the surface and then position it. We have our water itself. We're using water to wash away the soap in the application fluid for more of a permanent installation in the aftermath. Also in front of you, you'll notice that we have a felt tipped squeegee. Since this is a transfer paper installation, we're going to use the non-felt tip side initially, and then we're going to end up with the felt tip side once we've removed the transfer paper from the decal. You'll see this as we progress. Also in front of you, a microfiber towel to dab up any excess liquid, and last but not least, we have an old-fashioned measuring tape. The first thing we're going to show you is how to find your center points in the car and how to mark them for the appropriate installation of this decal. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so here's the first part of the installation. We use the old-fashioned measuring tape here so it won't mar or damage the paint on the car. We've placed the end of it as close to the painted surface on the roof. This is the front, just so you know. And the lone cowboy method here is by simply taping the measuring tape down to the car so that we can do this with one person. At this point, you can just walk to the other side, see what the measurement is to that other corner. In this case, if I'm not mistaken, it's 47.5, giving you a center point of 23.75 or 23.75. In our case, you can mark that with a marking pen or a grease pen, whatever you want to use, or you can use a piece of tape. You're going to do the exact same thing that you did here to find a center point in the back, and then I will show you next why we're doing that to make sure this is a perfect installation, because this is actually a two-part installation. The flag has been cut in half and has center point markers to make your installation fairly simple. Alright, I'm going to show you those center points next. Okay, here's the roof decal laid out on the hood of this car, just to kind of give you an idea of how we're going to get this in place. On the decal, you'll notice there's a center point indicator. There's one in the front as well as one all the way in the back. The concept is fairly simple. We're going to peel this from the backing paper, leaving everything in place on the transfer paper. This is the transfer paper, by the way. As you can tell, when you peel that up, it peels the whole entire decal up. Once we've removed this from the backing paper, we're going to make sure, obviously, that the roof is clean first. We're going to then spray the roof heavily with application fluid. We're going to spray the back side of this heavily with application fluid, line the center marks up, and then remove the excess liquid. And then once it adheres, we're going to pull the transfer paper away. Now, the great thing is that it will leave behind the two center points, which were intentional. Once we are done with that entire first piece, we then take this second piece and do the exact same process by lining these center points on top of the existing ones that are already on the car. And then once we have removed all the liquid and peeled the transfer paper away, we'll have a perfect roof flag. We'll show you how that works next. Alright, folks, so you see what I'm doing here is I'm actually I have this decal flipped upside down on the roof. This is probably the easier method to remove it in one piece without causing any damage, and doing it with one person. Again, the most important part is the center marker there. This is the piece that's going to go on the passenger side where I'm standing in the door jamb to begin with. So we're in a perfect spot. So there we go. So we've completely removed it. I'm just going to spray this with application fluid, flip it around, and get it in place. I have both center points marked on the hood already, so we're in great shape there. And thought I had the hood perfectly clean. Excuse me, the roof. It is now, though. All right. Can't use too much of this stuff, and it is convenient, obviously, having this kind of sprayer, but spray bottles work all the same. Center point right here. I'm going to line her up there. Our center point in the back side. Right about there. That's where she's going to end up going. Verify this point real quick. Yep. Perfect and perfect right there. At that point, to start from the center out, removing that excess liquid. Use overlapping strokes also. That way we're guaranteed not to miss anything. As you can tell, I'm using the plastic side of squeegee. When you get close to the edge, switch to the felt tip just to make sure you don't damage the car. And again, center out, overlapping strokes. And of course, when it comes to the stripes, I would just work from the front side of a stripe just straight towards the back. When you get to a certain point where you probably removed everything from that, I'm now going to spray this down with a water solution. And the only reason I'm doing that is to get the sticky part of this transfer tape on the other side to let go of the decal and have the decal stick to the hood. And that can sometimes be more taxing than the entire installation. All right. And we're going to let this sit for a little bit, and then we'll peel away and show you what we're working with. Alright, we're kind of in the middle here in the removal process of the transfer tape. This is a slow and steady process, just so you know. Just do a little bit at a time. As you're going, pay attention to the vinyl underneath to make sure there's no liquid, because at this point it's still fairly easy. With the felt tip side of your squeegee, you can work the liquid towards the center of the star without any issue, and then take it out. Once you get past the edges, it's a fairly straightforward process. You just want to make sure you look at the pieces, as I said, as you go through. Take your microfiber towel, make sure there's no excess liquid, and just keep going. I'm going to end the video here and then show you the second piece, where we're matching up the center pieces and then installing the, like I said, the center piece of this decal. Alright, we're on the second phase or second part of our installation. I've removed the backing paper from the second piece. The center point is still visible there. On the back, ironically, it was not. So what I ended up doing is I put a little tiny piece of masking tape. I don't think you can see that, just for the time being, just to help me out. The decal is pretty straightforward. Again, on the second piece, you can see a center point there. There's one on the back side also, so you really can't get this backwards. For that reason, it makes this the front of the decal. Of course, it's upside down. This is the sticky side that I'm going to put application fluid on right now. Now, as you notice, I did not put application fluid on the bottom side. Sometimes too much can be just makes it a little bit more difficult to work with. Again, center point here, center point piece there. Pretty straightforward. Hold that bad boy down. I'm going to find this guy on the back. Boom, done. And all that really does is to make sure that the spacing between the stripes stays where it was intended. And you can tell it's still fairly movable. So there we go. There. And on the back. Alright, once we get to that point, again from the center out, overlapping strokes. In the beginning you want to move a little slower because you want to give this opportunity to stick. So once you get close to the edges, again flip to the felt tip side to make sure you're, in this case, not scratching the car or the vinyl material. No need to go over this or that again since that was already in the car. So actually it's fairly straightforward on the stripes. We're going to work from the center out one way and then back to the other a couple of different times. So hopefully get the majority of the liquid out. Alright, and as we did before, in order to get the transfer paper to let go of the decal, we're going to wet the top side just with regular water and let her sit. And instead of boring you through the entire installation again, because it's fairly straightforward at this point, I'm going to go ahead and finish this, clean everything up, and then give you one final shot so you can see what it looks like all done and finished. I want to thank you for your time, and I appreciate your purchase and your support, and have a great day.